Good evening, everyone. Um, Thank you for joining us for our season seven Fast and Fearless first town hall for season seven. So myself and Joe are going to present to you guys tonight, and we'll just be going back and forth. We're going to ask everyone to stay muted until later on. If we have some time for Q&A, we will do that. You can, of course, put any questions in the chat, and we will get to them for sure. Oh, and now I don't want to. My slide doesn't want to advance.
Oh, no.
There we
Tech support.
go.
There
All
is.
right. Almost need to call in our technical support there. All right, so as you guys know, I'm sure all of you already have our schedule for the this season, but we're going to be starting off at CRP with Fast and the Fearless, and going on to Santos, Dyer, Lakeland, Tallahassee, and then wrapping up with Adventure Day in San Francisco. And if you've not heard, we are doing our theme this year is going to be our movie theme. So Blockbuster, Lights, Camera, Pedal. What we're going to be going over tonight is what you can expect from our Florida NICA weekend. I know we have a lot of new families that are joining us, so super excited about that. So some of this might be reminders for some of us, while for others, it could be brand new information. We'll go over our weekend schedule. We'll give you some top tips, some rad rules to remember, and then we'll go over our economic survey as well. So, what to expect? Lots and lots of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of off the screen time and lots of time in nature. We're going to have opportunities to grow in our confidence and our character. All of the details that you need to know, all of them, they are all in our event flyers. So if you've not checked out the event flyers yet on the website, I actually put a button right there on our front page that you can go to the weekend and scroll on down. You can start to see all of the events, and the event flyers are starting to roll in there. Not all are there yet, but they are all rolling in. Those documents, just so you know, those documents are live documents. So they're constantly being updated with new information. As we get a new food truck rolls in, that kind of thing, we'll be adding that information to it. So I would recommend not printing that document if you're a paper person and you like to print and take that with you. I would recommend that you not kind of hold off on that until Wednesday before the event. We won't make any changes after that. There's also some great resources that we have. We have a coach's guide for event weekends because I know we've got some new coaches on our call tonight. I highly recommend looking at this document even if you're not a new coach. Great information in there. Nice little checklist of things that you should do 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, week out, that kind of thing. So check that out. That's in the Google Drive. Our coaches have their Google Drive, so check that out, coaches. For all the rest of all of our student athletes that are on the call, all of our families, we have a NICA quick guide to event weekends. Gives you a checklist, tells you what to pack, tells you what to expect. Lots of cool information in those documents. They are linked in here. I'm going to be sending this out in our next newsletter. So you'll be able to access this recording. You'll be able to review this slide deck, and you can click on the links that we have here. So what's new for season seven? So some of you, I'm at this point, I'm thinking probably most all of you have heard that we have fifth graders this year. So super stoked to be able to invite our fifth graders into our NICA League. So thank you. If you're a fifth grader, thanks for being with us. Um, so fifth graders and sixth graders, you're going to have your own course preview this year. So that'll be new. We've always had our grit pre-ride, and then we would open it up to everyone. This year we'll have our grit. We'll move into our fifth and sixth graders on course only, and then we'll move into everybody else being out there. Also new this year is we're moving to ability-based into our middle school categories. So this results in us having a middle school A, middle school B categories. Those are for our seventh and eighth graders by ability. Our sixth graders are still staying sixth grade, competing with all other sixth graders this year. We will evaluate at the end of the season, look at what our data shows, and make an informed decision at that point. Our fifth graders, same thing. Fifth graders will stay with only fifth graders. Other fun things, we have rolled out an adventure app. So if you have not got on the adventure app, hit the QR code right up in the corner and you want to go ahead and get that downloaded. All kinds of fun activities that you can be doing. They're called missions. You can be doing them in practice. You can be doing them at the events. All of that cool stuff is in there, and you'll be able to hit different benchmarks. And once you hit those, we have different prizes and different recognitions that will take place with the adventure. We also will have an adventure tent at the events this year with lots of cool, rad things going on there. I believe we have Ralph on. Ralph, if you would like to unmute and talk to us a little bit about some of the adventure things.
Okay, so Saturdays we will kind of, I don't know how to say it, Jackie, like rope off a section for it, the adventure type games, or snow fencing, whatever. And we've been going over all kinds of ideas of games to play, whatnot, bike-friendly games. So to give you an idea for this coming race, we will do our Givens will have a tube change challenge, and what that is we'll have a wheel, a tube, and a tire, and a dry erase board, and we'll just time people, see who has the fastest time. Obviously, there'll be a lot of learning there too. We'll have the cardboard slide. I don't know if I know not all teams do these games, but the cardboard slide is piece of cardboard on the ground. You run over it, grab your rear brake, slide on the board, see how far you can get it. We will have ramps from Missy and myself will be bringing ramps, and we'll see what they all look like because this will be the first time we get these all together. And we'll see what we can come up with them. Jack and I were talking about doing like almost like a dual slalom with the ramps. But also in this area, a lot of it will be kind of creative play. Like maybe we'll set something up and, it may run its course and just kind of let the kids do their own thing. And then let's see, we'll have a limbo thing set up, basically a couple of cones with some dowels in it. And, you go under it, lower it. So those will be the four that we start off with for the weekend. We also were trying to implement a Florida enduro section based on what the park that we're at, if it lends itself to that. We were trying to put one together for this weekend, but I don't think we really couldn't pull it off. So we might be able to do that. Like I see like Tallahassee being a nice spot, anywhere where we could have, a downhill section where kids could actually start at the top, get to the bottom, time it, whatnot. But yeah, we'll have at the adventure tent, we'll have a like a binder for the student athletes to write in there. They can share some games that they would like to see, or we could do at the next event. Maybe some of their teams do some cool games. I forget, Jackie, what's the coach's name that does the Connect Four?
Connect Four.
Yeah,
Jose.
okay,
Jose with the West Palm.
right. So they have a giant Connect Four, and I don't know exactly, but are they like riding their bike and basically
Yep.
dropping it in and basically trying to play Connect Four on the bike?
Yep.
So I know we'll eventually have that too. Um, so yeah, I think that's about it. And Jackie, you can probably speak to the what is it, Goosebumps, the app?
Yeah, the Goose Chase app. Yep. We've got that's what we have the QR code for right up in the corner of your screen. So you'll definitely want to get that so that you can earn points. So then when you go over and you do all these rad things with Ralph, you can earn adventure points. They all add up. And then you get recognized at podium when you hit these different benchmarks that you have. And then at the very end of the season, if you are the top boy or the top girl with the most adventure points, you're going to get a super rad prize of being free entry into a adventure race where you are going to navigate yourself on your bike and kayak and all the fun things. So
Yeah,
yes,
so coaches, parents, when you see this going on, if you have any suggestions, any fun games you see out there, please let us know. I imagine this first one, well, I mean, it'll be the first time we do it. I imagine by the end of the season, we'll have it pretty dialed in. And I would imagine by 27, we'll be doing some fun stuff. So did I leave
definitely.
anything out, Jackie?
No, that's great.
Okay,
That's great.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you. We're also going to have a Teen Trail Core tent put up at all of our races. I was looking in the who's attended. I don't believe that Lloyd is attending. Lloyd, if you are, can you? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I will talk for that. Lloyd is our Teen Trail Core person for the league. And what we're going to be doing is different events or at all of our events, we'll have an opportunity for our student athletes to earn Teen Trail Core hours. And as you all know, your Teen Trail Core hours go towards that uh, team of the universe, a lack of another name for it at this moment, but you know that that all goes towards there, as well as you could be the Teen Trail Core team, or you could be the top Teen Trail Core student athlete. And so we'll have different recognition points as well, or hours rather. When you hit those different goals, then you'll be called up to the podium, recognition. We have some cool prizes and such for you guys. So look out in that event flyer again and see where we are. For our first event at CRP, we are working with the mud cutters. There'll be two opportunities for you guys to go out for an hour. Each time you can go out once, you can go out twice, and get some Teen Trail Core hours. We have a new handbook this year, and it is a lot smaller. It's not like that big handbook anymore. We are actually down to 30 pages. So encourage all of you to get in there, check it out, look in there. There are some new things in our handbook this year, and Joe will be going over some of those in a little bit. Um, we have this town hall. So that's new that we will be having this before every one of our events. It won't be as long as this first one because this one will be going over a lot more that's about generally our season. Coaches, team directors, rather than having a coach call, where what we'll be doing this year is having office hours. So next Wednesday, You should have already gotten my calendar invite. Next Wednesday, 7 to 8 o'clock. Joe and I will be on for you guys just to hop on and ask us any questions that you have. The other thing, we have volunteer hours are available this year for Fridays. And with our volunteer hours, we have a raffle that will be going off at each one of our events. So when you volunteer and when you sign up to volunteer ahead of time, you'll come to the volunteer tent at your time to check in. At that time, you're going to get a raffle ticket. And that raffle ticket, we will be awarding or giving out our things at podium. And you can also purchase additional raffle tickets if you would like. So we have different cool things. For instance, here at CRP, our raffle is going to be a night stay at a Whim Cycle. It's going to also include a gift certificate to one of our to a beverage truck rather than a food truck, a beverage truck that will be at our Santos race, which is the second race or second event, as well as Whim Cycle. If you're not familiar with them, they are located in the Ocala area, also right off the Santos trails. And as well as we have within that little goodie bag is some other extra little goodies. We have some things from the Mutter Ducker and a couple other cool things. Um, Next, our call-up procedures are going to be a little bit different for staging this year. And I've heard a little misinformation around, so I want to make sure that everybody's like super clear on this. What we're going to be doing for our staging procedures is the staging manager, Holly, which you guys all should know, rad person, been there in that position forever. She does an amazing job, and she will be calling up our first two rows by their names. After that, where she's going to be calling up by rows. So when you get your staging list coaches, you're going to be able to look at that and know where they are. So your student athletes need to know, hey, I'm in row 5 or I'm in row 6. That and the reason that we're having to move to that is just we're growing, our league is getting bigger, and we need to get through that staging so that student athletes aren't standing out there in the heat so long and that. So we think that this is going to speed our procedures up in that area. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll have to make adjustments, I'm sure, as we move through that. Always open to your information that you see as well. Just a little reminder that with NICA, we always need to have two communication needs to be open to adults. Student athletes shouldn't be having one-on-one contact with our student athletes, like social media, even in person, and that. And just a little reminder is that Strava is another one of those one-on-one type of things where we can have conversations and that we shouldn't be having one-on-one conversations with our student athletes on social media, and that's including our Strava. So just a little reminder on that. New this year too, we are having roving marshals. In the past, we've had all of our marshals have been stationary marshals, and then we have a sweep. So this year, we're going to be rolling out this new program that a lot of other NICA leagues are using. And we have most of our events will have 3 stationary marshals. And all of the rest of the marshals are all on bikes. So we had an application process where we have, I believe we've got 11 or 12 roving marshals that have gone through a training program. They all had to be level 2 or level 3 coaches. So they also have all of the first aid requirements. They will be on bikes roving the entire time, keeping an eye on everybody, keeping everybody safe, and ensuring we have fair play as well. Um, Jerseys, bibs. So in the past, we've had our race plates. We still have race plates on the front of our bikes, hooked in with our three twist ties. But we're adding in this year our bibs jerseys. So we'll have bibs that'll be on the back of your jersey. You're going to pin them on. Look on social, this is new for you. Look on social media. We're going to do a little video and show you how and where you can pin those bit. I'm starting to stumble on my words. Almost time for me to give this over to Joe. Um, so we'll be giving you a video that'll show you how to pin those on the backs of your jersey. Last thing, gear swap. So we know over the summer, a lot of you guys outgrew some of your stuff. So we are going to do a gear swap at our very first event and then at our very last event. So bring your stuff, you can sell it, you can swap it, whatever it is that you would like to do. We're going to keep that within the pit zone though. So talk to your coaches, maybe figure out a nice way that how you may want to handle that. Ooh. Pit zone drop-off passes. We are keeping with those again this year. If this is new to you, then each team gets 3 passes to drop off equipment in the pit zone. Everybody else will go straight to parking. And this is to keep everything moving clear. Our league is growing, our parking is getting tight, pit zone's getting tight. So we think that last year we implemented it and it seemed to work well. And we think that it will continue to do as well this year. We are also continuing with our head coach parking because they're such ride humans and they do so much for all of us. So head coaches for our first event, you will go to the parking volunteer. He'll have a list of all of the head coaches and he'll show you where head coach parking is. After that, you can pick up your head coach parking passes and your pit zone passes with Papa G in registration. Some pit zone reminders if you are a coach, just to take a look over your pit zone, make sure you take any of your riders who are not coming back and deactivate them and kind of clean that up. Parents, you want to make sure that you have registered your student athlete for the races or the events that they will be attending. This just helps us keeping our staging a little cleaner, helps to keep us efficient and moving the whole event along. So registration for that will close this Friday, the 23rd. And then registration will open back again on February 1st. And this helps us just pull all of our staging reports so we can get everything out to the community. And CRP, like I said at the very beginning, Event Flyer is your best friend. Check that out. You're going to find the schedule there. You're going to find camping, lodging. For CRP, we do have a lodging discounts. Go to there. You can click the link and go and get some discounts on your lodging, or you can call the number. This is where you're going to find your maps. You're going to find a link to sign up for all of the volunteer spots. Mud Cutters is serving up lunch, so please support them. And then again, our gear swap. And now I'm going to take a break. And yeah, I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me talk anyway. So I'm going to pass this over to Joe. And if you don't know, Joe is our new event and race director for this season.
Thank you, Jackie. Okay, so this is a lot of what you will see on our event flyer, a lot of it will be the schedule. For CRP, we will be getting down there Friday, and the core crew and the staff will be setting up and do our best. We've had plenty of calls with the county and with the city and the parks and rec folks everywhere with regards to everything from the trail, mowing, and porta potties. So we've done a lot of work, and we're going to get there that day before and make sure everything is set up and in place for us, and have Mark and everybody go through the course. And we're going to have a ripping fast course. I'm really excited for this one. So Friday we will be doing our work down there. Saturday we'll be starting early again. And as all the folks start coming in the late morning, that is when you'll be doing all the check-in things with Papa G and all of our pit zone drop off and setup and whatnot. Uh, on Saturday, we will be having, aside from our adventure and skill area that Ralph had spoken about, Coach Ralph will have that. We're not sure exactly where that's going to set up, or what all we can do, or what we're going to do, but it's going to be fun regardless. Our coaches meeting will be at 12:05, and we need to limit that one coach per team, please. Uh, just one coach, and then we're going to go right into our coaches pre-ride. And the coaches pre-ride, we need to take at a social pace. And if you can, if everybody wants to try to take back the most amount of information to their riders as possible, try to give yourself 2 or 3 bike lengths between you and the next rider. It does get difficult when we have all of a sudden 50 and 60 and 70 coaches there in a big line, and we do stop halfway through the lap just to regroup and check and discuss, especially where the middle school cutoff is going to be in the turns. But please leave space so you can see some of these obstacles and see some of the things on the trail that you may want us to correct. If you're having to pay attention to the wheel in front of you, you may not see that at CRP there's sections of the trail that we're actually riding backwards against the flow of their normal traffic and against the signage that they have there. Which last year we just went out and we put bags over it. But those are the things, if you're riding on the person's wheel that's right in front of you, you're not going to see those small little special parts of the trail that you want to tell your riders about. We will be having a grit ride. The grit ride starts at 1:30. We ask that all the girls, that they can come out. We'll have a blast. We'll have plenty of the coaches there to take them out on their pre-ride, and they will be discussing and looking at some of the obstacles. The grit ride is great about that. So I encourage it for all the girls, especially our 5th and 6th grade girls who are coming in new to this, to see some of the faster riders and talk about how they would ride the trail. The Team Trail Core tent will be set up. Mud Cutters will be there. Mud Cutters is going to be serving us a great lunch, and they're going to have a lot of stuff out there for us. So make sure you do visit them. At 2 p.m., the trail is going to open pre-ride for only our 5th and 6th grade riders. So coaches that have done the coaches ride, get your munchkins together and get them out there. Get them going, because at 2:30 to 4, course opens for everybody to preview. And please keep in mind, all of the riders, this is their preview where they're going out there to learn the trail. Don't go out there and try to rip through it at a race pace or even at a 80% race pace. They need to learn the trail that's going to be safest for them, and make sure that we're riding to our numbers with our coaches and our riders. Make sure we've got a coach in the front on all of those and a coach in the back with all of our little groups. And please take care. The registration for the day is going to close at 4:30. And depending on, last year we had Jason's world famous rubber chicken races. This year we're going to have a variety of different things I think Jackie was talking about, and it will likely incorporate, I did hear, let's see, Ralph was talking about the flat tire change. I think we were going to do a little flat tire change type pit crew action with teams for that. Different little relay races and just different fun stuff to get the kids involved and to learn at the same time. Our pit zone is closing at 5 o'clock on Saturday. So keep that in mind. And at 5 o'clock, when we close down, everybody should be off the trail. Everybody should be out of adventure. And we're not allowing anybody to go out on the course after that. It's closed until pre-ride the next morning. All right, so there is our Sunday. The core staff will be starting early, making sure that the trail is safe, the trail is good, the trail is fast, that nothing changed overnight, and there's nothing we need to worry about. All of our volunteers, if you're there, please make sure you check in. You do need to check in that morning and let everybody know you're there to get your positions, especially radios for any of our folks that are going to be out on the course. Registration, obviously, Papa G will be there with all his bells and whistles at 7 a.m. And the pit zone of parking, all that opens at 7:30. On Sunday, everybody should have their placards and passes for the head coach's parking. They should have their placards for drop off. If you have a placard and you've already dropped everything off, please don't use it as a way just to go in there and drop off your bikes or pick up bikes. Save the pit zone time and space and driving through kids to actually taking in your tent and materials for pit zone, not just for bikes and small things that you could just ride down. I know we all like to have a professional looking bike at the start of our race, but we can just roll them through the grass for that. At 8:30, our pre-ride is going to close, so you've only got 30 minutes to start your pre-ride. And after 8:30, nobody's going to be heading out on the course. Our coaches meeting will start at 8:30, and shortly after that, you should be getting your riders warmed up for our middle school, which is going to start at 9:20. Middle school boys and girls are the first wave. There's only 2 waves in CRP for the time trial, middle school and high school. Let's see, 10:50 we'll be starting our high school riders, and that will be a fast race, and hopefully we'll be done by 12:30 that day. We do ask that nobody starts tearing down their tents. Like always, we want to be there to cheer and support all the way until the last rider in. Last year, I think we had 2 riders that had to run their bikes the last couple miles. And it was fantastic to see how many people came together at the finish line and were yelling and cheering and screaming, and their whole team went out there and came in right behind them and cheered them in. So that means a lot to the kids. That means a lot to the families. That means a lot to everybody who spends the time and effort to get out there, that they are supported all the way to the end. And our awards will probably wrap up by 2. I know we've got them down there at 2, but if my memory serves me correctly, we probably will be out of there by 2 o'clock, as long as everything goes as smoothly as it did last year. Okay. Oh, the top tips. Here's some good ones. Make sure, who knows what we're going to have for weather. We always hope we're going to have great weather, but have your riders and kids, if you're listening, make sure you bring some gear bags and some plastic bags for all of your gear that may be wet and sweaty and nasty, and help your parents out by separating that from the clean laundry. Keep the funk isolated in some bags. The race plates, last year I saw 2 go out on cars, and luckily they did come back with them. But as Jackie has said and Jason has said over the years, that's the biggest place that race plates get lost. I believe Coach Kyle collects all of his team riders' plates at the end of each race and passes them out. So coaches, that may be something that you want to do. Coach Mike, that's what we did last year. We took all the plates and we just divvied them out at the beginning of the race weekend, and we took them back each day. That will also be important to keep track of your rider's bib number. They're going to have a beautiful customized bib number that'll go on the back, and it'll last them the whole year. It is a cloth bib number. It's a UCI sized bib number made by the company by 13, who makes some of the World Tour bib numbers for different races and does a lot of work. So they're going to have something really cool at the end of the season as a souvenir, but also we need to make sure that they have it every race. So coaches maybe discuss pulling those in at the end of each race weekend and hold on to those as well as the plate numbers. Caffeine products discussion we've all had, and we've all had the rule book in front of us, and we all checked the box that we as parents and we as coaches and we as student athletes have read and recognized the rule book. And one of Jason's biggest things is caffeine, and I'm right on board with him. Keep the caffeine out of the venue, keep the caffeine out of the kids. Uh, Please know that as soon as that trailer is there and set up, the venue is open and the race weekend is started. And the race weekend is going until that trailer leaves the venue. So please know that we really do not want kids to take caffeine. It's not only is it bad for them, but it's in the rule book. So let us please go with that and recognize that and not have any accidents or excuses that we didn't know or we forgot. Let's see, where else are we? Race day is bigger than just a race. It's about sharing great experiences with the hundreds of riders, coaches, and families. It goes right back to our kids running in on the last couple miles of their time trial. It's fantastic to see the effort these kids put in and these families. And San Falasco last year, Jackie, if you can remind me the girl's name who separated her shoulder and put it back in by herself on a tree.
It was Jacqueline.
This is Jacqueline,
Yeah.
yes. But just fantastic effort. This means that much to those kids, and it's that special to these kids that we need to make the best possible environment and support them all the way through and make it fun. So if we stick to the rule book, if we support all the riders, if we cheer on all the other teams that are around us, we'll have more fun than we know what to do with. There's a couple other things on there that you guys can read, but I think we're hitting all the main points on that. And here we are again. It's all about the coaches, the families, the riders getting together. We're all going to have fun. It's going to be a blast. I do hope that Jason is as good a DJ as the league has had the last several years, and I do look forward to seeing him leading the line dances and the chicken dance pre-awards. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Uh, but I know it's going to be special. I know it's going to be fun. Um, let's see. Jackie, I just accidentally muted you for a second, so sorry about that. Uh, Keep in mind, always, if you've got kids there, go over and hit the grit tent. The grit tent is for everybody to go and enjoy, and there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff throughout the season. And the Teen Trail Core, we will have available at some of these events. Kids are going to be able to pick up 30 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours of TTC hours that can go towards them and towards the team and some of the awards at the end of the season. So keep that in mind. They can get some time in. They can work at the trails we race on. They can give back to the community that gives so much to us each and every year that we go and ride their trails. Um, the schedules, coaches, please. I've seen Coach Tobin, I've seen Coach Mike, I've seen Coach Kyle post and use dry race boards. It's the greatest idea in the world, especially with the time trial events of, hey, we do know that you're going to stage at 9:20 and race at 9:30. You're going to stage at 10:50 and start at 11. But let the kids know, hey, this is, for the mass start rates, especially, you know, uh, Billy's going to start in row 4. Kate is going to start row 2, where they're going to be and when their staging is and their call up. So it helps them be relaxed, especially when they're warming up, knowing that they don't need to hurry, they don't need to rush, and when it's time to go, they know exactly where to go. Uh, it will pay off in dividends for their peace of mind while they're warming up, especially. And I think you'll see that some of the parents will be happier knowing that their kids know when and where to be, and that they don't have to play helicopter parent the whole time in the pit zone or the helicopter coach. Um, but let's make sure that the kids all know and can see it. It's accessible. Um, Allow the time for the riders to warm up. Uh, that especially with uh, some of the venues are going to be difficult. If you look in our race flyers, some of the race flyers will have specific areas that will be open for warming up, whether they're trail or whether they're dirt road or whether they're roads that are part of the park that we're utilizing that weekend. Please try to stick to those. We're trying to keep everybody out of traffic. We're trying to keep everybody out of the pit zone from riding to or through it, and especially off and away from the race course. A handful of folks last year had trainers. I always encourage those, and I think it's great. Um, but if you're not using a trainer, please stick to the areas that Mark has taken all the time to designate as a safe area for warming up. Okay. Caffeinated products. Again, it's a big one for all of us. Uh, and caffeinated products are off limits from the time the trailer gets there until it leaves. So please, parents, coaches, student athletes, remember that, know that. Have your Chargel. It's 180 calories of goodness. That's a lot of sugar, and it'll get you ramped up for the 30 minutes you need. And it has no caffeine in it. Uh, Let us see. Sporting attitude and sportsmanship. Please cheer everybody on. Be there for them. Coaches, make sure that your riders are as nice to their competitors on the trail as they are their friends and everybody in the pit zone. Please work on your passing etiquette and your etiquette of allowing people to pass when you can. Doesn't mean just stop and completely get off the trail, let them go by, but everybody needs to do their best to help the riders behind them because the rider behind them could be having the day of their life, and it could get absolutely ruined if they get blocked somewhere in a pass and somebody decides to not be as supportive of them as they could be or should be. And that all comes down to our fair play and respect and roving marshals keeping an eye on that. Um, the profanity is absolutely not acceptable, whether it's student, athlete, or coaches, or kids, or parents. Let us keep that uh, out of this event and these venues, and find ways to be supportive, find ways to separate and walk away when you have to, if anything ever happened. But support all these people because kids are out there making, memories that are going to last them a long time. And they're putting out everything they can for us as parents, us as coaches, and for themselves and their peers and their team, trying to do the best they can so they can get them a team award and some some podium spots in the future, we hope, for all these kids. Um, let's see. All riders and coaches. Let's see. The biggest. Oh, here's one that I didn't even actually see this earlier, but the this area is not part of the NICA event. At CRP, there is a little jump line. And it's not quite a jump line, but it is. That is off limits and that is not part of the weekend. We will have that marked and taped. It will be accessible uh, if people wanted to get in on it like they did last year and go over tape and around signs. they'll be able to get on it. And this is our warning to have everybody stay off of it. And that is our parents, our student athletes, our coaches, our our siblings that come out to the race. Stay off of the areas that are marked as not part of the event. And again, that is in play from the time the trailers get there until they leave. I believe it was Tallahassee last year. It wasn't part of the venue and it wasn't anything, but there was a pump track somewhere else. And one of the poor kids went out and broke his arm on the Saturday before the Sunday race at a pizza party there. So we don't want to see that. We don't want to have that. Uh, please, 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 this is the warning, coaches. This is the 58 participants in the group. You guys all know. Share it, please. Pass it on. Uh, please, we don't want kids to get hurt. Respect the venue. Uh, we're going to make sure everybody trash in, trash out. Please clean up after yourselves. Don't leave piles of broken chairs or broken tents in the pit zone area when you leave. Take that out with you. Uh, in the pit zones, we will have no open flame, no propane grills, no smoking, no vaping, no tobacco, no alcohol, of course, at the events. But that is something we need to watch. We are not going to have any accidents. We do not want any accidents with kids, hot plates, grills, flat top grills, anybody getting hurt, burned, or otherwise maimed by any of these things. So those are going to be off limits for the season and probably beyond. Okay, staging. We'll have the two waves for this race. Like we said, the middle school kids will be going, and then the high school kids. Uh, it is going to be fast. It is going to be fun. We may be between groups, coaches, so if we have to give a little space between one group and the other group because we may or may not have some fast riders, but we don't want riders to interfere with each other, and we want everybody to have a fair shot at getting their best ride for the day. We may be able to, we will be able to, but we may put some gaps between, for example, fifth grade boys and fifth grade girls, or vice versa. We will put gaps between those groups of kids if we have to expand them out more than I think 30 seconds that they're set up now. We could spread it out to 2 minutes. That way, there's a 2-minute buffer between one group and the other, so they do not interfere in the other child's race.
One
Uh,
little reminder that I wanted to say about our staging is that staging is really for our student athletes. So, parents, this is your opportunity to go get that perfect spot on the start line to go watch your student athlete go. Like, they're good, they're in staging, they're going to get to their right spot, all of that. Yeah, go find that perfect spot at the start and watch your child get that great picture of them on the start line. And don't worry about them in staging.
yes. Yes. So this race, like many of our other courses, we do have a high school lap and a middle school lap. The high school laps usually have a small spur that goes off where they will continue out and do maybe a mile more per lap, and then come back in and meet on the same course and finish at the same start, the same finish line. Um, that is to make it so they get a little bit more of the experience and they are advancing as they go through middle school up to high school and prepare them for future endeavors in the sport. Again, as Jackie just said, only the student athlete and one coach from each team should be in the staging area. There's plenty of volunteers. Uh, we have plenty of help and plenty of clipboards and bullhorns down there to call and make sure everybody's in a good spot. For this race, it would be very encouraging for the rider if you were down the start area towards the first turn. You have a very long straightaway that these kids are going to be putting out everything they've got. So that is a very good spot to go to and be and get a fantastic picture of the start from that area. And then you could walk over towards the the bumps and humps that they're going to take in towards the finish line. That'll give you enough time to go from the start over towards the finish area. The staging area, we will have it marked up. Everybody will see where it's at. It will be very easy to find. So just make sure that the kids know when and where they need to be, and we'll get them taken care of. Let's see. Here we go. Equipment. Coaches, please check in the practice before the race that all the kids have all their gear in working order. Make sure they have bar plugs so we don't have any cookie cutter punctures that we've got to deal with. Check their brakes really well. Check their tires and make sure the tires are in good shape. When we get to the race, and coaches, when you help your student athlete put their numbers on, make sure you're using all three of the 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 tie-ins that we've got. I think Jackie got some shorter ones because the last were really, really long. You could have wrapped them around your bar 2 or 3 times. But they're a little leaner, a little more arrow now, so we've got nothing to
You
worry
just save
about.
some weight.
Yes, we're shaving a gram or two, which is awesome. Uh, but please make sure that the three are on because the number can flop up and timing will not see it. And then we would be going off of the timing chip if something happened with the timing chip. All the things, make sure that that stays down and it's in good shape. Helmets, before I talk about wearing them all the time, let's talk about doing a check and inspection of the helmets and make sure they're in good shape and good working order and that they fit the student athlete correctly. Make sure that they practice with it the way that they should be riding it and racing it so we don't have to make adjustments at the start line. Especially at these races where we have 10 seconds between each rider. Let's make sure that the riders' helmet, straps, everything's in good working order, and try to check that at the practices leading up to the race, please. Uh, Anybody on a bicycle with a bicycle, if their legs over the bicycle, must have a helmet on. Uh, Coaches, helmets on. Parents, helmets on. Student athletes, helmets on. Please do not go out on the course and try to find a spot where you can ride to and then race to the next spot without your helmet on and riding through all the parents and kids and student athletes who are there cheering their friends on while you're racing through all these kids on a bicycle and you're not wearing a helmet. Uh, let's work on that, please. We're really going to be watching that closely this year. And then with regards to all of that, the riding and support on the course, it's it's an issue of fair play. It's an issue of safety. Um, Riding next to a course to cheer on a student athlete is very dangerous. It's distracting to that student athlete. It's distracting to the student athlete in front of or behind them. If you are the rider riding next to them trying to pay attention to the student athlete, it is dangerous and it is not allowed, and we don't want to see it. Please, please, please do not do that. Do not run next to them and try to provide support on the course. We've got the feed zone for support. And of course, if there's medical emergency and there's an inhaler needed, give them an inhaler. But do not ride next to the course and do not jeopardize the safety of the riders, the racers, the spectators, the parents, the coaches by trying to do that. The feed zone is a spot that student athlete can get everything they need. It is limited. We've got coaches, adults only in the feed zone. No student athletes will be feeding other student athletes. And Papa G will have feed zone passes where everybody will have a lanyard and an ID to be in the feed zone. So please monitor that, respect that. We will not need the feed zone in this race, but in the following races, and hopefully it is not hot at Dyer like it was last year. But if it is hot, please make sure that you are not pouring water on your student athlete's head. You can give them a bottle and they can do that themselves, but you cannot support them by pouring water on their head and running next to them. You're not out there to run next to the rider. You're out there to hold the bottle and pass it off. Okay. Code of conduct. The 2026 NICA handbook is very short. I think Jackie mentioned it's only 30 or 32 pages, maybe 32 with the index, but really easy to print out. Coaches, I'd encourage you to just print out a copy and have it with you, have it in your trailer or have it in the pit zone. Make it accessible to the kids and students and parents. And if you have to do uh, any small lectures or if you catch anything you need to address, you can have everybody look at it there. Uh, Again, our big one, helmets, always please walk your bikes in the designated areas. Please do not ride them through the pit zone. And I'm going to also say let us keep. Last year we had some segways and some of the one-wheel motorized skateboards. Let's keep those out of the pit zone. Let's keep those out of our venue, please. Uh, the pre-ride. Make sure in the pre-ride that your coaches are there, the registered coaches. Everybody on pre-ride should have a number plate. And please don't bring friends and family out to ride the course if they are not registered and have a number plate and are not part of the NICA league. They need to unfortunately stay in the pit zone, or coaches encourage them to sign up to be coaches. Then they can get a number plate and they can come out there and ride with the student athletes and pre-ride the course. The feed zone numbers, as we discussed, the ID will need to be displayed. You'll need to have that. You can get that from Papa G in NICA Village. Again, no running alongside the course. That also does go for the feed zone. Please practice your feeds at practice. We have done that ourselves, and we practiced with both left hand, right hand. But practice those handoffs without having to run next to the rider. If your rider or student athlete decides that they're not going to finish the race and they're going to abandon, uh, please let race staff know. Please go to timing and let them know. We want everybody to do their best. We want everybody to finish, but sometimes it's not in the cards. Sometimes we're too sick to finish, and that is okay. Uh, it's it's something that happens, and we all learn from, and we all move forward from. But please let timing know so we don't worry about anything, and we don't go looking for you in the woods all night long, thinking that you may have gotten lost, separated, or headed out to a uh, high school trail and then veered off somewhere else. Uh, Mechanical issues. No penalty for outside assistance from roving marshal if you have your own tools. So if you're carrying your own tube and CO2 and you go and you start to change your tire, if you as a student athlete need a hand and the marshal comes up behind you, they can give you a hand. Marshals who are on the call, please get yourself versed up and practiced up and addressing some of these small issues that may happen, a tire change or a broken chain, because we do encourage all these kids to have their tools. And as much as we want them to be self-sufficient, some of these little hands, especially our fifth and sixth grade and middle school kids, may not have the strength to break a bead on a tire. So it would be great that our marshals are proficient in these small trailside repairs.
And just a little note for some of our coaches and families that have been with us for, maybe the last 7 years or so. This has always been a point that you would get penalty. So this year we've implemented with our new roving marshal program that this is a learning opportunity. So we can be able to educate our student athletes and be able to help them without penalty. Of course, if they don't have their own tools and such with them and they need to borrow that from the roving marshal, then the normal penalty does um, pertain to this just as it has in the past.
Yeah, that was actually something we saw at regionals. One of the young guys broke his chain right at the start, and the marshal right behind, getting ready to start, was able to take his tools and get him going. He lost maybe a minute and 15 seconds, but holy cow, was that just a quick fix, and the crowd went absolutely bonkers for that kid as he got back going and racing. I think he made up that minute and 15 seconds in the first 2 minutes. He was so jazzed by the support he was getting. Let's see, earned lap cutoff times. These are based on NICA's maximum allowable time on the course. And at the town halls, we'll discuss this more when we get into our multiple lap races. Our fifth graders, I believe, with the courses we have now, will only be doing one lap, so this will not pertain to them at all. But this is a safety issue. This has to do with the safety of the child and our kids and our student athletes out there racing. Bad days happen, great days happen. But when a bad day happens, we can't be so upset if we don't make a time cut. That does not mean that they DNF. That finishes them and positions them based on where they come across the line. If three other riders come in behind them, behind the allowable time cut, then that is where they are positioned, behind the time cut. And then the riders that are finishing out the next lap will be in their position as they come in and their finish. So they are not DNF'd. They don't need to be upset. They definitely are not DNF'd when that happens. No headphones and no music phones playing or any iPods or anything playing noise. There are some exceptions granted for headphones. And if you have one of those exceptions, then you are aware. I think we may have two this year. So if you see that, don't freak out. We do have two riders with exemptions for that. Um, Again, we're going back to the caffeine. Please, no caffeine. Wear your helmets and don't drink caffeine. Uh, that is the biggest thing. Please, please, please. Protests for timing. They do need to be submitted by a head coach or team director only, and that's 15 minutes after the official results are posted. You need to do it within that 15-minute period. If there's a rule violation or something that has happened that you can report or a marshal has report, that can happen immediately after the finish of the race. That doesn't have to wait until the posting of the results. That can happen immediately. It's the other protests where if there's something wrong with scoring, then it can be addressed. But for rule violations, uh, I would say historically, what I observed this last season is the rules that were broken, it was accidental, and I believe almost everybody was self-reporting on that, where they said, I accidentally did this, and I think I cut the course. It happens, they're accidents, nobody's going to be mad. Uh, and almost everybody was self-reporting from what I saw last year and what I observed. So kudos to that for everybody. Um, the finish line etiquette, um, please have the riders, no two hands up, nothing crazy. We've got a timing mat that's there, and these are not perfect roads that we're riding on, like in the Tour de France, where they get to go 100 meters with their hands up and grab a flag and salute their girlfriends and boyfriends and family. Uh, Please race to the line and over the line, punch the air if you'd like, but keep at least one hand on the bar and keep in control. And all the coaches know we want both wheels on the ground the whole time. Um, Podium etiquette. support the teams, support your team, support your people, support the folks and the team that support you. Please have your jerseys on. If you have podium t-shirts, wear the podium t-shirts or hats. Um, but but coaches, this is a time when you can say, hey, this is what we want to see, and this is what looks good. This is what we as a team want to see everybody supporting and having fun and seeing our name across your chest as you get up there on one of those steps. Um, and it makes great pictures too. It'll really help your team get some sponsors the following year if you do that. Okay, the cards. Uh, I don't know if I should get a shirt with a pocket and carry yellow card and red card and orange card, but I hope I'd never have to.
It's
The
so
first
rare that
warning, the
we
yellow
give these
cards.
out. It really is
Yeah,
rare. We have such
it is.
rad, amazing parents and student athletes that and coaches. Yeah.
Yes. It's yellow card first offenses. These are all in our rule book. Everybody can look at them. Uh, but the first offense is a warning. Obviously, it's small things, it's mistakes, it's stuff that we don't even need to talk about after it happened. It most everybody knows, and I think everybody's made a yellow card level consequence offense at some point. Jackie and I included, and all of us coaches and riders, and we look to the other person and go, "Oh, I messed up." That's all anybody's looking for is acknowledging that a mistake was made and move on, and everybody's happy, and nobody even has to shake a finger. So it's I'd say 9.99 out of 10 are that. Our orange yellow consequences, that's a 5 minute penalty. Second offense is a 10. Third is a disqualification from the race. Red level, gosh, we hope we never see these, is a disqualification from the race. And uh, all of those offenses are everything that really, when you're there, you'll realize it's hard to make those mistakes because it's such a good environment. So we don't plan on seeing any of these. But as long as everybody goes with the NICA vibe and has fun and supports their riders and supports their competition, uh, we probably won't have to discuss these. And my job and Jackie's job will be easy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you all for looking at these and saying, okay, we'll just look and smile if we make a mistake and give a thumbs up and say, oh, it's done and it's over. Uh, but please just know these, and all of these are small things. All of these rules are here because somebody may have messed up, because somebody has gotten hurt. Uh, and that's why they're here, is because we want every kid to go home in one piece and happy and excited. We want every coach and parent to go home fulfilled, seeing their kids smiling at the end of the day, and just elated that they put everything on the line for their team and rode their buns off. Okay. The awards and recognition, we're going five deep, so the podium's five deep each and every race. There will be a leader's jersey awarded after the first race, and like last year, there could be some ties where I believe, and I'm not sure, Jackie, but we'll have two jerseys if we have ties. I think we've got enough jerseys. Uh, and
Yeah, I mean we'll be
yeah,
fine. We'll have
okay.
the leader's jersey goes with our points. So that's a
Mhm.
little bit different. For their first race, it'll be easy. The person who got, first place will be our first leader. But as we move through the season, we'll get to sometimes the person who got first at that race may not be the person in the leader's jersey. So that's for our new families and that might be a little bit of a how does this all work and that, but everybody gets points for the different or the different placing that they have, and then those points get added up and accumulate through each of our races. At the very end, we do drop one race. So you'll take your one drop that you didn't do as well on, and that will get dropped. So that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. And if let's see, if I'm not mistaken, how it works, if there is still a tie at the end after the drop, let's say there were four races being counted, the highest placing at the last event is the tiebreaker.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
it gets really specific in how it moves on down. But yeah, we'll pull everything out and say, well, if we've got 2 points that match up, then we go back and look at the individual races and say, well, how many, first places does this person have? How many, that kind of thing. And usually that will knock it out, but
Mhm.
you never know.
Yeah. Um, so all these awards and recognition, Jackie was talking about some of the things that we've got. Recognition for participation in adventure, recognition and participation on TTC and your Teen Trail Core hours. Uh, the overall awards for positioning overall for the season, not just the last race, but for the whole season. Uh, the team awards, we've got lots of team awards this year. Uh, Jackie had dove into some of those. The Team of the Universe Award, uh, our Adventure Award for the teams, the Team TTC Award. We've got awards for volunteers, race points average across all races, and athletes competing at a race. Let's see, the volunteers, obviously, we're recognizing the volunteers and everything they do. And their Jackie, our raffle is weekly for the volunteers. Is that
Hmm.
each
Yep.
race week?
Each race.
Uh, so we're gonna do a lot. There's gonna be a lot of fun things, a lot of chances for volunteers to win some cool stuff and be recognized for everything they do to make this league happen. Uh, it's it's not possible without the volunteers. So please, coaches, if you have some parents where a student athlete's bringing two parents to a race and one of them can give some time, encourage them to go to the signup.com website and maybe volunteer a little bit, even if it's maybe in the section of the day that their child is not racing. They can volunteer the second half or the first half of the day and help out. That'd be fantastic. Um, and those raffles each weekend, Whim Cycle is really taking care of us, along with the sip-faced beverage truck. Uh, but we've got the Trek raffle again later this year.
Hmm.
And I forget who won the bike last year, but that was awesome that they were there when it was done. Let's see. Oh, yes. More of the that is our big trophy, right, Jackie? What is that one for?
Yeah, yeah. So this is we have a student leadership council, and it's one of the things that I'm talking to them about to see if they can help us decide what our big award is. So I've been calling it the team of the universe, which just means that we take for all of our points, we take all of the race points, we take all of our teen trail core points, we're going to take all of our adventure points, we're going to take all of our volunteer hours. They all get mixed up. We have them, or not mixed up, but they all get calculated, and a percentage then goes to your team. So what this by us working with percentages, that actually helps our smaller teams and our larger teams still be equally in the running for the Team of the Universe award. And so this year, our Team of the Universe award is our alligator head, and it will get to travel from team to team each year. He will be mounted on a plaque. We have your team's name with the year will be on the back of the plaque, and so it will And I don't know what his name is either. So I know that we have seen some of our student leadership council members on the call. And this is new information for them too, that they're going to help um, us make that the name of the award, the name of our alligator, whatever. So, um, yeah, that's our alligator.
Good deal. I wonder if each team that gets that is going to change the name of it each season.
They could, they could.
Good.
The truck raffle, this is our league's official fundraiser. And last year, our goal, we exceeded our goal by a lot. I want to say, I've got to move my computer to look. I have my little dry erase board here. We did $35,360 last year. So thank you all so, so much for that. That's able to buy us some new timing equipment and a lot of other rad things that we were able to roll out this year. So that's going to be our raffle again this year. We will do acknowledgement for prizes for our top student athletes who bring in the amount of money. Lots of cool things will be rolled out with this. Um, I am hopeful that it will be up and running by our first event this year. It kind of looks like we should have everything up and running by then, or really, really close to it. So look out for that information coming into your emails on all of that. And lastly is our economic impact survey. So if you've been around for a while, you have heard us talk about this. If you are new to our league, what this is at the end of every event weekend, we have a survey that goes out. Quick, probably takes you maybe 2 minutes to fill it out. But we ask that you fill it out after every single event. And this helps us then when we come into new communities to show the impact that we are making in that community. It helps us with being able to advocate for more trails around different parts of our state. It as we can advocate for help with our venue fees and keeping our events down at a reasonable cost so that we can continue to do more and give more back to our local communities that we all live in, the communities that we race in, and then even to our FICO community to be able to give out more assistance to be able to help out. And lastly, just one last little plug again for our volunteers. We can't do this. We are a volunteer organization, and we cannot make the magic happen every single weekend without you guys. So it's so important that you guys come out and help us. Not to mention, it's super fun. Um, and that is all that we have. I know we went later than normal, and all of our other town halls will not be this long. Like I said, we went over a lot of stuff that was just globally what is different this season, and wanted all of our new families to feel like they have a good idea of to expect and what's going to be happening during our weekends. So appreciate all of you guys so much. This is being recorded. We will be back on our YouTube channel in the next day or so. I'm hoping to get it up tomorrow, so you can rewatch it. We're hoping that the audio will have that come off, and we're going to put it into a podcast format. So coaches, other families, if you have friends who did not get on today, they can just listen to it as they are driving down to CRP next weekend. So thank you all.